Good evening, everyone. Gil here at Camp Patton Family Compound. Tonight, Rebel Canners and Mark from Chef Tech. And welcome to the Monday Night Fireside Chat. Tonight's topic is not going to be about canning, but it's going to be more along old school stuff where we're doing air drying herbs, root vegetables, whatever it is that your great grandparents used to do. So, how's everybody out there doing? I think we're ready to go here, but let me go over. Oh man, a lot more people have come in here, even more. Okay, let me get over here and welcome everybody properly. All right, so first one in was Lewis. It's the Marshmallow Man. He's been a member on Tammy's side here for 5 months. And let's see, next one in was Troop 1351, followed by Super Scout. Shady Hill Homestead, CR, that's Creative Redundancy. And Chef's Tech, tagging both our channels here. Let's see, Mother Earth Garden Club came in. Geeky Gardens from Florida. Kaylin Strain from Iowa. And everybody's talking. Super Scout says has been a member of my channel for 9 months of the Staff Sergeant's boot camp level, and storing winter squash in their basement. All right, they're not drying anything right now. Let's see who else we got. Susan DeLay is here. Serena Norrell. Serena, since you're in here at the very start, yeah, we're at a 5-minute countdown because YouTube plays ads. And that way everybody can watch the ad and not miss anything. And they can still comment in the chat with each other like everybody was doing. All right. Howie's here, Food Forest Permaculture. Diana 2. Aiden here from across the pond is here. And Diana 2's checking in on both our sides there, Tammy. And let's see. Chipper 66 is here. Everybody's talking back and forth. I'm trying not to miss anybody as I'm scrolling down through while everybody's talking. And yep, everybody's talking back and forth. All right. So tonight's this is like I said, we're not talking about canning. We're talking about all right. Troop 1351's got a brag now. 23-month member of my channel. And remind everybody, smash the thumbs up button, please. All right, so this is stuff that my wife has done more of than I have. I've only dried a couple things, and that was basil and some thyme. That's all I've ever air dried. My wife usually snags it all and does it herself. And and she's a little busy right now. Otherwise, this is the first week of the month, and so being an accountant, this is busy time up until the 10th of all their properties they got to manage and stuff. Plus, it's the new year for businesses and stuff. They run not the calendar year, they run in the physical year, which starts in October. So she's really busy.
Yeah.
And so I am doing my best not to disturb her.
Too much.
I sent all the memes and all the little videos on the 31st. All right. All righty. I agree with you a little bit in that time change either way I don't like. I really hate setting going off a standard time because it's not safe for the kids. And since the Congress in their infinite wisdom decide, we're going to make it longer so the kids are out there at the bus stops in pitch black like my grandsons were for the last couple weeks. just ticks me off no end.
I thought we were going to stop doing it altogether. What happened to that thought?
Okay, there's two things on that real quick here before we jump into it. There is a movement to try to make it permanent year round, and a lot of parents gave the Congress the one finger salute and told their state, no, you don't. We'll vote you all out. And so it's been, none of the states have gone forward with it because they know as soon as they do, they're all.
And he froze.
Everyone that's elected is going to be getting blamed, and they're going to be getting sued for any kid that dies out there when it's in the wintertime, when it's pitch black, and the kids are out there at 0 dark 30 trying to catch a bus, and when it's not safe. It's bad enough in normal time during the wintertime. So that was something that was Congress said, states, you can do it if you want to. That's as far as they went. They did not mandate it. Other states are trying to fight it and flip it just the other way around and say, no, screw you. There are 2 states, I can't remember which ones they are right now, that don't do it. Did Arizona finally go on it or not? If Arizona did, then there's 3. I think Hawaii is one that doesn't do it. And if Arizona still doesn't do it, they weren't doing it for the longest time. And then there's someone else that was fighting it as well. Anyways, let's get to the fun stuff. So we're going to talk about basically this is kind of old school. This is back when there was no electricity or jars for canning. This is the way my great-grandparents did it, and my great-great-grandparents did it, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Oh, Cannon put a thing. Part of Indiana does not do the time change. Yes, good. So, yeah, all right. So let's go over here and go in and look at some things. All right. Now, drying has been going on for a lot of times. Actually, the first thing I saw my wife dry was roses.
Oh.
Because when we were first getting together, even before we were married, I was buying her roses every other week. I'd buy her a bunch of roses. And finally, she said, "Stop buying me roses." She had a whole bunch drying, and she was making artsy stuff with them and really cute stuff. And finally, she said, "Stop buying roses." And said, "All the money you spend on roses, buy me some rose plants. That way they go on forever." So she now has 18 roses at the house there. But and then she started drying some of the other plants, and the basils, hang drying it, doing other stuff. And then she started drying some onions, hanging them up so they dry properly and last long. And I think right now, onions are probably the most hung dried root crop there is.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe even probably even more than, in the United States. In other countries, I know peppers are really big. That's why I got peppers for our backdrop.
I picked a whole Walmart bag, the last out of the garden, of the little red chili peppers like you have in the background. And I was surprised. My cousin's garden is here, and I'm house sitting for them. And they're like, go pick all the tomatoes and all the peppers because we got another freeze. And somehow it escaped the first freeze. So I went out and got them and got the rest of it before it froze.
Cool. All right. This I thought was kind of cool. So they what they have a ladder up, what you can't see here, and what I couldn't see until I blew it up on my 32-inch here, is they got the big chicken wire, with the 2.5, 3-inch, things on it, laying on there. So off the side here, there's chicken wire hanging over, and they're putting the stem stalks, what do you want to call it, of the onions through that, to help hold it out to air dry, which is really thinking outside the box.
Yeah, then it can harden off without touching anything.
Yeah. And then, of course, there's my sinuses are clearing up right now. And I'm trying to remember. Tammy, was it you that said they were trying to stick it through, and the stems are so hard they had to run it through the fruit itself?
Yeah. Oh yeah, the stems last year were horrible as far as like I mean, good. It was a good thing, but I couldn't get the needle through them. I had to actually put them right under the cap to get them through, to get them threaded.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what we'd do if we wound up using just one of those. That's a lot of peppers for us. We don't use a lot of pepper.
You do, you just don't know you do it. I bet that you could grind one of those up, these cayennes you could grind up and make chili powder. And you probably would use a lot of chili powder if you had it fresh for chili.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I got the things. I got chili powder. I got cayenne powder. I got taco seasoning, but I don't go through it that much.
Yeah.
Of course, if the wife and the two boys were here, we'd be making a lot more chili or taco seasoned meats and stuff. All right. So this is another thing for.
I make my own hot sauce. So one of those is a batch of hot sauce.
Yeah. If I could figure out the right peppers to make a mild hot sauce that I like, yeah, then I'd be growing a bunch of peppers.
Yeah.
I try and keep a half a thing on the chat here. Little Lone Prepper just came in. All right. Here's garlic, and this like I noticed this. If you're seeing it on your tablet or on a phone, you're not going to be able to see really good on what this is showing here. But the back row especially has little like cardboard tags put up there with the date and the variety of garlic. These are all garlics. And so this is like one of those little tough sheds, and they're just loaded with garlic. That's where you run to if you see a vampire. You just run inside there and just stay in there. Got the vampire run over, open the door, and he'll burst into flames instantly. Tammy Harder's in here now.
Hi, Tammy.
Yeah. Oh. $50. The last time I bought my wife roses was like 30 some years ago, and it was at the grocery store. It was $35. Yeah. Yeah. Vampire safe room. Now here's some old school trays. The top one here, you can see that it's just the 1/8 inch thick, 1 inch, 1.25 inch wide slats that they put stuff on. On these others, they're putting down some feed bags, the porous feed bags on them. You can if you find the old school ones, you can just cut out some screen material. Of course, now it's plastic. But back in the day, we used they actually made screens out of metal, and so you can make do the same type things. And these are just stacked up, and the air movement in the room moves around them and stuff. Especially stacking the shelves that far apart. One of the things that this reminds me of is something that Anthony at Palmetto Prepared did. He went and built a solar dehydrator to help speed along the dehydrating some of the stuff that he does.
My solar dehydrator travels at 55 miles an hour just about every day.
Yeah.
Called my car. I string peppers and all sorts of things from the back passenger, the hooks above the back passenger seat to dry this time of year because it still gets very hot in there.
Oh yeah.
A lot of airflow, and it dries rather quickly inside with the glass.
One of the books I got, oh geez, over 20 years ago on my Kindle, was called um, I can't think of the name of the book now. I can see the cover. Cover's blue with like a fort ticket on it there. Beacon's story, and one of the groups they were interacting with was a bunch of rich people bugging out to a place they built out there with big facility and stuff, all in their 4x4s and a couple of they got there, they stripped the cars clean and left them all, lined them all up so the sun was hitting the windshields and stuff, and turned them into great little greenhouses and drying centers for drying the stuff they're doing. It's because hey, we're not driving anymore. Nobody's making gas. Nobody's doing that. These vehicles aren't going anywhere. Put them to use.
Tammy, your car must smell amazing when you drive.
It does. Although this week it smells a little bit like that fish I had in there. We're not going to discuss the salmon video coming
doing salt dried cod in your car while you're driving? That's not a good idea.
Yeah, I had an entire. So I said I want to do a fish head soup or a fish stock, and my friend went salmon fishing. I said I want the fish head. So he got me 2 large salmon. They're about 4 foot long with the head still on.
Jeez.
But he didn't have a place to freeze them, so he took them to his buddy that went fishing with him, happens to be the man that does our deer processing, has these giant walk-in super cold freezers. Literally, like, the fish stood up by itself. It was froze to sub-zero. But it's 4 foot long. Do you know how hard it is to get that into a freezer? So I had to put it in the car, go pick it up in one town, do a couple errands, and then run to my daughter's and get it in her freezer. So it sat in the car for maybe an hour. Like, it was still rock hard when I put it in my daughter's freezer, but you can smell that it was in the car.
Yeah.
She just smacked it over a guardrail and broke it in half.
Yeah.
Hey, you got to use what you got to use.
I would have needed one of those Japanese ginsu knives to cut it frozen. It was that frozen.
Yeah, bandsaw, circular saw.
Yeah, a little battery-powered Roby.
That's what I need. I just need a battery-powered meat saw. Putting that on the list for Santa.
All right, let's see what else we got. What else I got as far as why I was looking at for the pictures of stuff to put out, and they were slicing all the different types of vegetables, root stalks, carrots, beets, radishes, all that fun stuff in the garden. And they started showing a picture of the sliced garlic. This picture of sliced garlic, the big one, is someone talking about they were drying it in their air fryer. And then I started looking at a couple other ones, and I found this. This is a picture of a book cover for, doing in the air dryer. And I'm like, okay, I started throwing it up here. So that's one of the things I guess you can use the air dryer to
my air fryer actually has a dehydrator button on it.
There you go. And so that'll help dehydrate it quicker. Yeah, so taking it to the modern level with it. But when I looked at that, then another one, another picture, the caption under another picture said heat, a hot air drying. And so this was the picture it was under. And so this is garlic that was ran through a hot air dryer, not a dehydrator. It was something they made, and it shows the different steps of the garlic as it dries out with a hot air dryer. So speed up the process. And here's one picture. I was getting of all the radishes and carrots, radishes and carrots. But yeah, so, and of course, like Mark was saying beforehand, you don't have to slice these up and dehydrate them. You can go ahead and store them in the root cellar. That's why it's called a root cellar, root crops. And keep them for quite a long time.
Yeah.
Now, I have never...
Pack them in sand. Moist sand. Pack them in moist sand. They will stay all winter. Maybe even into late summer.
Cool. And one of the things I did not get a picture of, because it really wasn't a good picture of them doing it, but they were talking about it. And if Howie's still in there, he's going to love this. Was the sunchokes, or the Jerusalem artichoke, yeah. And they were showing them whole, but they were also talking about slicing them and drying them out.
Oh.
And so there weren't any really good pictures on it. The ones they did have were so small in the pixels that if I blew it up, it'd all be blurry.
You can't, those Jerusalem artichokes do not store well at all. You pretty much got to pick them and eat them within a day. Unless you're going to process it somehow.
Yeah.
They really don't. And they rot really fast if you take them out of the
this was on the page where it was talking about hot air drying.
Okay.
So they may have been, if you have a way to, heat it up and dry it with hot air, almost like putting it in the oven without cooking it or whatever, you can get the moisture out of it before it rots. I don't know. But I was just looking at stuff, and it's like, if we ever plant them, then I will look into more about doing it. Let's see here. I'm just sorry, things in. Yeah. Okay. And so some things you don't have to dry it out if you grow it in the house. Other things, you're gonna have to dry it out.
I have basil growing right now in the house. I brought my basil and my rosemary and my lemon balm all in for the winter.
Okay, I've added to the list near the end of December something about lemon balm. And what an amazing thing it is for something that they're freaking out about, and they're having to kill all these fowls because of whatever it is that's affecting the fowls. They can't be sold again. But amazingly, lemon balm kills all variants of that particular thing. So we'll talk about that later. But so there's a sneak preview of something I came across from some doctors talking about it, and it's like, wow.
And Tammy's dying because I got that stuff growing like weeds all around my house.
That's right.
I cut it with the weed whacker. Yard smells amazing. I'm sure all the vegans in the neighborhood are drooling. Between that and all the garlic chives, I'm like whipping down with the weed whacker.
Just take your weed trimmings and put them in a box and mail them to me, okay?
I told my wife that. She's like, I don't care. Fire up the dehydrator. Send Tammy a whole bunch of lemon balm. I'm like, okay.
Oh, yeah. That stuff is wonderful. We're doing a lot of drinking tea. We make tea with it. I've made some tinctures. There's it has calming effects on my ADHD son. So many reasons to use it. I just it's become my go-to right now. And allergies. He loves it for his allergies. He drinks the lemon balm tea for his allergies.
What do? You just dry it and throw it in water, let it steep, and strain it and drink it?
I don't even dry it. We steep it in water straight up.
Wow. Okay. I have to try that. I'll do that tomorrow. I'll let you know.
I've only dried it because I didn't know I was going to be able to bring this plant in. I have 2 plants. One I left outside that'll come back on its own because lemon balm is in the mint family. You can't kill it.
Yeah,
And then
no, that's my problem.
The other one I brought in because I wanted some fresh all winter. So I have a bunch of it dried. I just have a wreath form, a metal wreath form that I got at the Dollar Tree for $1.25, and I hang that, and then I hang all my stuff to dry from that in little bunches.
I wonder if my lemon balm is still lemon balm because I had so many different mints back in the day, chocolate mint, all that. It might be some radical variety, but it still smells like lemon. So
it's probably still lemon balm.
Yeah, it's some plants don't cross mix. Like the chocolate mint and the lemon balm probably aren't mixing across like that.
Yeah, I have mint and lemon balm out at the property, and they had growing wild, and the mint is literally a ground cover, and it hasn't crossed with my lemon balm out there.
All right, where was it? Got to go back up here and find it. Tammy, that was the best. Tammy Harder, that was the best typo ever. My bail this year. I'm sorry, that was the best typo.
Basil. She meant basil.
I know she meant basil. I saw that, but
I see. I don't have the comments, so I can't follow the conversation.
Yeah, she said immediately after basil.
Okay.
My bail this year was the best ever. All right. Tooth by V's in here.
Hi.
All right. Yeah, all sorts. Of course, everything you can dry. Oops, went too fast there. Sorry. Drying all sorts of stuff that you dehydrate it. If you can dehydrate it, you can naturally do it. Oh, I'm an idiot. I forgot to put those in. All right. So I'm going to deviate here without showing you the pictures. We're going to talk about a couple things that old world dehydrated naturally by the sun. Dates, grapes.
Yep.
And believe it or not, wheat was sun bleached back by the Egyptians.
Yes. And apples, they used to dry them and then they'd hang them. They'd dry them outside as much as they could, and then they'd bring them inside and hang them by the fire to finish drying.
So,
and cranberries. Don't forget cranberries.
Oh, and with leather breeches, they would take and blanch the green beans and then string them and dry them until they were hard as a rock, and then they would throw them in water and rehydrate them to cook them. And they called them leather breeches because they were so
leathery.
Yeah.
All right. So I heard some people talking about this on the page that I was looking up stuff about hot air drying, where you can take your wood burning stove and either next to it or on top of it, set it up where you can get the trays drying. And the one showed this picture of what they get, this terracotta pot they get. They put it up there upside down, and then they were talking about putting on it metal trays with different things on top of it. That way it's not on the hot stove surface, it's above it, and to get a hot air flow on it. And
some air circulating. It's hot air naturally rises, so everything that heats on that stove is going to circulate up right there.
Now, what I was thinking of, one of the things I was thinking of, instead of using that big one, get some of those 4-inch terracotta pots, the tall, skinny ones. Mm-hmm. Put four on the corners there. Then you put one of those trays on it. Then you put 4 more of those tall, of the shorter ones, the ones that are about 2.5, 3 inches tall on there. Put another tray and just stack those up above the stove. And that way you get a lot of hot air flow and everything that way. That's one thing. And so this is the last picture I got.
Yellow peppers.
Yeah, another way of doing it. But it made me thinking. Those anyone that has a membership to Sam's Club or Costco, they got the 6-tier metal shelves, 4 foot wide, 16 inches deep, with the wheel. Well, I know the Costco ones come with wheels on it, and you can wheel it around, and the shelves are adjustable, and you can put them fairly close to the stove, and just on those wire racks, either some of the big fruit you can just probably lay right on it, or you can put these other little trays or put some screen material on there. And also now you got 6 shelves for air drying. But if you have a wood burning stove, then you get a couple of these on the wood burning stove that are powered by the heat of the stove, and they just start blowing the air away from the stove over the shelving unit.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to have a hot air natural dehydrator dryer that is powered by the power of the heat and not get too hot.
Nice.
Just got to be careful with fruit. Fruit needs to be warm enough so the fruit flies don't start to breed, and then you have a fly problem.
Yeah,
the air will help with that.
Yeah,
right.
Well, on my stove, I put out several videos on it. If you guys want to look back, and even on my indoor garden, I show it last winter, it blowing across my indoor garden. On my stove, the pipe, I got 3 of these that don't have this on the bottom. It comes off the back and it mounts to the stovepipe, and it blows the heat from the stovepipe across. And I got several of these down on the top of the stove blowing. And so there's a good breeze blowing across there. I mean, but bugs aren't going to get, fruit flies aren't going to get on, or fruit gnats or anything else aren't going to get on it. So if you have a wood burning stove, that's a solution to help dry stuff during the wintertime.
Yep.
Now, there is something here I wanted to share with you, Tammy. My wife sent this to me. Here's the paperwork on it.
Oh, I have one of those. Yeah. They work so handy. I have one of those. I love it.
Yeah. I like this. The top one here is loose.
Mm-hmm.
The bottom one has a blade on one side and a plastic scoop on the other to throw the stuff up.
Yep.
And it's...
Yep. Just like you start your lawnmower.
No power, but human power.
And it chops good. The one I have really chops things really fast and nice and uniform. Some of them you get, and they get these big chunks over here, and you got little tiny pulverized stuff over there. The one I have is very uniform. Yeah.
So I'm gonna try this out and see if it'll chop my sauerkraut smaller.
There you go.
Let's see. I'm just checking the side chat here. Yes, Mother Earth. And then of course there is making jerky, drying fish, the Native American way. Sorry, just got distracted by Tammy Harder's comment for making salsa with this.
I used it to chop my onions and peppers to make my salsa this year.
Yeah. Oh, it does come with recipes in it. Cherry tomato buchata, tomato salsa, guacamole, egg salad, sun-dried tomato pesto, Thai peanut sauce, mixed olive tapenade. Tapenade, thank you.
And the first one was pronounced bruschetta.
Bruschetta, thank you. I'm sorry, I'm not trained in.
That's all right. I'm working with you. I'm trying to help you help yourself. It's all good.
And then the last one here is Indian mint yogurt sauce.
Ooh.
Oh, wait a minute. There's 2 more: chocolate, coconut, walnut, dessert topping, and strawberry sauce. Those are the recipes that came with it.
Nice.
Yeah, Florida, definitely drying is a challenge.
It's really bad here in Michigan too. That's why I do a lot of my dehydrating on the dash of my car or hanging from inside my car.
Okay.
My dad loved horseradish on a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Don't be making it in that little chopper. You'll your eyes will just water.
Okay, so if I'm doing certain things in the chopper, I need to get out my full face respirator for tear gas.
Horseradish, you always do. Always do.
There is I'm trying to think what else. I know there's probably a lot more than what I just touched on here and what we've touched on so far for
Sun-dried tomatoes.
drying. Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dry them out in the however you're going to dry them out, and then pack them in olive oil with some dried garlic in there. And you're good for a long time. You can even can it if you want, because they're already dry. The tomatoes are not going to soak up oil. They'll soak up a little bit and soften, but not like water would soak into it.
The
you can
oil
repeat that for Serena for me.
Keep the air off of them. Yeah,
So-
sun-dried tomatoes packed in oil with a little fresh dried garlic. I use fresh. Mark uses dried.
So certainly that's what Mark was saying. That just made me think of something else that we used to go to this Italian eatery that they would serve the most fantastic pesto sauce for dipping with the fresh bread that they baked in their bakery, with the meals and stuff. And my wife loved it because there was no pine nuts in theirs, in the ones they made. It was nut free.
You can make pesto with any kind of nut or sunflower seeds even.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to have a nut in it. Basically it's just basil puree with oil.
Yeah. And that's and
cheese.
they prided themselves that their oil was imported olive oil from Italy.
Isn't most all of it?
Nope. Not anymore.
No?
You can read the label all you want. If it says 100% pure olive oil, and then you read the fine print, it's like may have been sourced from 27 different countries and locations. You don't know what's in it. Yeah. And they still cut it with the cheap ones. They cut it with canola oil.
Yeah. But someone was telling me on Facebook that they got some olive oil from the Middle East. Some of those 1,000-year-old olive trees.
Ooh.
Yes.
I forget the trick. You take your bottle of olive oil and throw it in the fridge. And I forget if it congeals, it's olive oil, or if it doesn't congeal, it's olive oil. It's one or the other. I forget how it works.
Yeah. Yeah, you can look that up, testing olive oil in the refrigerator. Actually, tell you what I'll do. Since I'm done with the pictures, I'll drop that down and I will look it up. Testing olive oil in refrigerator. Okay, there it is. The refrigerator test for oil is okay. The AI says it's not reliable, but everybody else is saying it is. Probably because the companies are paying them to say, "Hey, stop giving out the secret. We want to sell fake stuff."
Yeah. I don't believe the AI. The AI has never been right on any search I've ever done.
Yeah. Ever. So basically, refined oils like regular solidify. Okay, I'm not unfrozen now. Will solidify at a lower temperature than extra virgin olive oil. So extra virgin olive oil in the refrigerator will get solid. The other ones won't. So
I think
Yeah.
they separate the ones that are mixed and blended. It won't really separate, but it'll have like clumpiness to it where the olive oil solidified or congealed,
Yeah.
but the other oils didn't. So you wind up with like clumps.
Yeah. AI is a lot
Sorry.
more A than I.
I did not know that about olive oil, so I've learned something tonight.
Yeah. But they were saying that the friend of mine was saying that they got imported something. It was expensive, but they got some good olive oil from Jerusalem. So
really good olive oil will come in a 4-liter metal square can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'm just seeing what is that? Kaylin's asking people to send her your sun-dried tomatoes. All right.
I might do some cherry tomatoes like that tomorrow in the oven. We'll see what time I leave. I got my third job got canceled tomorrow because of the rain, so maybe I'll have time to do some sun-dried tomatoes.
Well, we got some more people that just came in. Rick Thalen, Sumi's here,
Hi.
Checkoff's here,
Hello.
and then I see somebody else. If I missed you, I'm sorry. Glad to have everybody here. Yeah, one of the things that I think I'm going to wind up doing. Oh, I'm going to share this with you guys too as well. Is a different thing. But I was thinking about getting the one of those rack shelves. So once my wife's here, get it set up and pull some of the extra shelves off of some of the other ones I'm using where I've just got them in there because I really don't need them in there. I only need like 5 or 4 shelves for it, and put those in so I have like 4 inches apart for a drying shelf rack for drying stuff on. But the shelves, the shelves units you get from Costco, Sam's Club, Lowe's and stuff, the 6 shelf ones, if you put the top shelf down about 3 or 4 inches, then you can take some 1-inch PVC, slip it over it, run it up a little bit, run it up and start putting T's in there. And if you don't glue it together, you can slide the T's around. You can slide the T's around different angles, and then you can hang onions and garlic and everything from that as well. That way you have your shelves that are drying, and then you have your garlic, onions, and whatever else you're hanging from the 1-inch PVC you run off of it. And especially if you have a higher roof or a room that has a cathedral roof in it, on that wall you got more room to hang stuff up higher. And it's neat. You can also just take that, lift it off, bring it down, and do stuff with it.
You can put them on pulleys too in the ceiling so that you can raise and lower it so that you don't have to get on a ladder, which is really nice too.
Yeah. And the neat thing about the doing it with the PVC pipe, so what you do is you have yourself a 1-inch T. You do glue a piece of pipe into it, but you just stick it on top of little short pieces to stack them up. On the piece you glue in, you just take like a hacksaw and just make a single cut across it to put little notches so you can put your strings on there so they won't slide back and forth. So as you're moving things around, they don't accidentally slide off and fall off the end. CR has a question. Okay, can you effectively dry with moderate heat and fans? I think so.
The fans are going to help you a lot. You want, like some vegetables, you want it to dry quickly. You want to get up to like 180 degrees. So
Yeah, and humidity matters. If you're just hanging it
Yeah.
in your room somewhere where you have, moderate heat, if it's a humid heat, not going to work well.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
If you have forced air heating, where one of the vents comes out of the floor, if you take the grate off so it blows straight up, hang above that. It will dry it out, guaranteed.
Oh yeah.
In my bedroom, in the master bedroom, I have one of those folding drying racks, for hanging towels and stuff on, sweaters to dry them out. Opened up against the wall above one, and I got a towel hanging over that. And I get a couple other towels and soak them with water before I go to bed at night and just lay it over that. And the bottom towel keeps it from dripping down on the floor. It just kind of diffuses a little bit. By morning, those things are dry. That's a lot of water drying off in the middle of the night.
Yeah, and you get the humidity in the air, so you breathe better.
Oh, my sinuses aren't bleeding. Yes, yay!
That's my problem.
Yeah.
Although I did mistakenly realize the other day when I was running my freeze dryer, you're going to have to repeat this to, what's her name? When it was done, I'm looking around the rim and all that, and I had hardly any condensation on it because my heat was on. In the summertime, my AC was on, but the basement's a little more humid, so I get lots of condensation on the plexiglass door, and I always have to wrap a towel around it, which also brings in my problem of when I package the food when it comes out of the freeze dryer in the summertime. If there's a lot of moisture on there, I got to be really fast, or else some humidity will reintrude back into the food. So my freeze dryer is teaching me about humidity.
Right. So Serena, he was talking about his freeze dryer and using the heat and stuff, and how he gets sometimes he gets condensation during the summertime. You said summertime because the AC's going on, so he's getting condensation from the AC. But with the heat going right, and in the wintertime when there's no moisture in the air, it works so much better, and he doesn't have to hurry as fast when he pulls stuff out of the freeze dryer to get it packaged up.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I don't live in Florida anymore. My mother couldn't stand the humidity. We all enjoyed the heat, but she couldn't stand the humidity in southern Florida.
I lived in Jersey. We used to say, it's not the heat, it's the stupidity. Yeah, well, and the humidity.
Yeah. Oh, okay, we're about done here. So with your stupidity joke, there's a story going around on the reels and on Facebook dealing with a squirrel called Peanut. And okay. I got the reel where they dimed out the conservationist who reported it.
Yeah, we can talk about this on
she's pulled down all her social media.
Yeah, she went into hiding.
Yeah. However, my daughter says she read several articles that there is a backlash against the Blue Party because of it.
Yeah.
And that New York may go red this year.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that on the Midnight Ride. How's that?
We'll talk about that tomorrow on Tactical Tuesday, because tomorrow's Election Day.
Oh, that's right. Selection Day. Yeah.
And I got a bunch of other articles for that for tomorrow on Gray Man Prepping. Speaking of which, Tammy, are you going live this week?
Probably not.
Probably not. All right.
No, I can't. I can't on Thursday. I can't.
Okay. All right. So coming up here, let me get the right one. Okay. So get the right, scroll back up here. There we go. tomorrow on Gray Man Prepping, the topic is get ready for stupidity election results. Midnight Ride is on Thursday. Friday here on Camp Pat Family Compound is winterizing your garden. And we're doing the 1,500 subscriber giveaway. So that's going to be for, there's 3 groups out there. The $50 Amazon gift card is going to members of the Staff Sergeant's boot camp level channel membership. The camper level membership is getting 3 $10 Amazon gift cards. And then anybody in the side chat has an opportunity to be eligible for one of the $5 Amazon gift cards I'll be giving away on Friday.
And anything, if I win, is going to Tammy for the computer fund. We're going to get you a damn laptop one of these days, girl.
And you're muted.
And you're
sorry.
muted.
I almost ordered one because I have some gift cards that I've earned through Fetch and stuff. And there was one that Gil, but I just couldn't quite. I didn't have quite enough when I counted out my cards.
I'm getting it.
Oh, and if you're supporting a channel, I may get dinged on this one. The process of the platform to donate a super chat or whatever, they're supposed to take 30% and the channel's supposed to get 60. On my last calculations, it's flipped. They're taking 60 and only giving 32 channels. So
of course, yeah.
And if the things with doing an email Amazon gift card, they get 100%. All right, let's continue on here. So next Saturday is we're going to be talking about how droughts are impacting food worldwide, but mainstream media is not talking about it. Next Monday here is 1 year of doing canning topics here on the Monday Night Fireside Chat. And so we're going to review some of the stuff we talked about for the last year, revisit some of the topics and stuff, and then we'll be going on. That said, if you have suggestions for us to talk about when it comes to food preservation, canning, specific things on canning, dehydrating, freeze drying, whatever it is, send me an email at Camp Patton Family Compound, or you can send it to Tammy at rebelcanners@gmail.com, and we'll share it and get it on the schedule here. And because we want to know what you guys want to, and gals want to know about. You know, we want to share information that is needed, as well as fun stuff as well. So that's what's coming up here for the next week. And if you haven't voted yet, with all the mail-in ballots, make sure you vote. I did see something interesting today, and it made me cringe. In California, 8 million ballots have already been cast, and 6 million have already been authenticated.
Wait, how many? What's the population?
Yeah. But
don't think that far ahead, Mark.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways,
I wonder if Peanut's going to vote this year.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's I'll be talking more about that one tomorrow. But it's like 8 million ballots have already been cast in California, and 6 million have already been verified as legitimate.
Of course they were.
And someone was saying that 75% of those have been verified by their headstones.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyways, let me get back to see all the comments flying by here. Oh, Mother Earth wants to know, has anybody done seed saving this year?
Yep.
I did not do any seed saving this year. I've been bad.
I have enough tomato seeds in my freezer. That's going to be epic when I dump those all around the edge of my property. I'm looking forward to that in the spring. That's going to be fun.
Wow.
Yeah. One of the things I did, I saved the Grand Rapids lettuce. I had a boatload of seeds, and I missed the boatload because I got lettuce coming out all over in the garden out there now that I missed collecting before the wind caught it. But I sent a bunch to my wife, gave a bunch to my daughter. I also collected a boatload of several of the varieties of sunflowers my wife has there in California, including the one that was up 14 feet tall.
Nice.
I got some of the heads off of that and collected those. And in the next day or two, I'm going to do a video. I got one of the zucchinis that I just pulled in, that the golden zucchini. I'm going to try my first time saving seeds from a zucchini. And I got to get with my daughter is supposed to be saving seeds from the pumpkins. I sent the 12 pumpkins I sent over to her, and I got 8 more out here that are finished changing color out there, sitting out there to change color in the sun. So she's going to be processing more pumpkin there. So saving more pumpkin seeds there. That's what we'll be doing there. Serena says, right? Yeah, exactly, Serena. Let's see what else we got here. What's a good source for seed saving?
A good resource? YouTube. M.I. Gardner did some stuff. James Pigioni did some stuff. You just search seed saving in the search box for YouTube, and there's a lot out there, and they're pretty good.
Yeah. So what he was saying is on YouTube, there are several. M.I. Gardner's done some others have done it. Just in the search box up above the video up there, just to put in seed saving, and they'll find some good videos there for information on it. Checked off asked. Okay, we get a bunch of questions here.
I got another answer for her about seed saving. There is a book by Bevan Cohen, and he is my go-to guy for seed saving. And he has a book on how to save every seed and how to do it for each kind properly. So, and it's on Amazon.
What's his name again?
Bevan Cohen. He came on and was a guest on Grow Big TV, and I was the guest host that week. It's Bevin Cohen, Cohen. Bevan Cohen.
Okay. Okay. What seeds do you need to worry about cross-pollination for?
Everything.
Well, all right.
Squash is the #1 cross-pollinator.
What is?
Squash.
Squash, yeah.
After that, most everything doesn't.
Tomatoes will.
Tomatoes will cross-pollinate. Corn will cross-pollinate.
Yeah.
Wheat will cross-pollinate. If you're growing several varieties of cucumbers, they can cross-pollinate. Supposedly, and my wife proved this wrong, and it's in the video about the Chris's California Garden Tour Part 2. She had summer squash and winter squash, and they're not supposed to cross-pollinate, but they evidently in California the temperatures were just right, and they cross-pollinated, and she got some funky, weird-looking ones. So, yeah, still edible, but it's no longer the true varieties they were supposed to be. Let's see here. Catching up. Kaylin has saved seeds from apples. She saved seeds from the pepper she cuts. Just trying to catch up here in the side chat.
I'm still happy my little white peach tree is still doing great in a little pot in my kitchen.
Yeah.
Aw, nice.
I'm so excited. Yeah. I have like 5 other peach pits that are just dry, and hopefully they're not rotted on the inside. I'm going to freeze them and crack them open and try planting those.
Okay, I just got a pop up here. Cold World Prepper is going live right now. Prepper's Workbook, Chapter 2, Preparing to Shelter in Place. Very appropriate for those in the cities coming after tomorrow. All right, everyone, we're going to wrap it up here. Hey, try growing something indoors. Try growing food for next year indoors. We got the Indoor Food Challenge on Gray Man Prepping. All right, everyone, stay happy, stay safe, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow on Tactical Tuesday on Gray Man Prepping. Take care.
Have a good night.